All right, guys, so we just watched the video. This is from Hurricane Helene. We've been talking about severe weather events. So I want to open it up and ask you about some severe weather events you've experienced in your life, and then maybe we can talk about some of the factors that led up to those type of events. So does anyone have a specific weather event that you've been through in your life? Acton.
Last couple of weeks ago, Hurricane Helene actually hit us too.
Yeah. So here in Alabama, we had a lot of rain, a lot of wind. Did you have like any damage at your house or anything like that?
I think we lost like one. I think the only thing that happened was our pond gained water.
Right. Yeah, we got a lot of water like in a short amount of time. Right. What were some of the like what was the weather like before Helene moved in?
Dark clouds, some thunder in the distance.
Okay. And was it hot, cold? Was it windy? You remember?
It was like between it was normal.
Okay, kind of normal, and then kind of all of a sudden it just got bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some other events that we've experienced?
A tornado came right next to our house one year.
Wow. Okay, so a tornado came through your house. Luckily, you're okay. That's really good. What was the weather like leading up to a tornado?
It was mid about spring, so it was kind of warmish, and it was really windy.
Really windy. And what about rain? Was there a lot of rain, or before or after?
Before, I think there was a lot of rain, and after a little, because it was like late at night.
Yeah, and remember, typically tornadoes form out of thunderstorms, right? And thunderstorms occur along cold fronts, so it would make sense that it's warm at first, and then you get a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and then the next day, was it a lot colder or cooler than it was the day before?
Yeah.
Right, because after that cold front moves through, you get a lot of that cold air moving in behind it. Okay, anybody else? Go ahead.
One day in the summer, I think 2 years ago maybe, I was home by myself, and a thunderstorm came through, and I was by myself, and I didn't know what to do, and that led to a couple weeks. I think it was about like 16 days straight of rain.
Wow, 16 days straight of rain. That's a long time. But that can happen, right? Like stationary fronts can move through. Remember, that's when a cold air mass and a warm air mass are kind of side by side, and they're interacting with each other, but they're not really moving one or the other out of the way. And so along those stationary fronts, you could have rain for days or weeks, and that kind of sounds like what you're talking about. So you said there was a big thunderstorm, so that would have been like a cold front moving through, but then interacting with a warm front to create a stationary front. So that's really interesting. Go ahead.
And it was really windy, and it broke a window.
It broke a window. Was that just the wind speeds broke it, or did something actually hit the window?
Rock.
Oh,
It
gotcha.
wasn't like a pebble, it was like a massive rock. And it whipped.
Gotcha. And leading up to it, I mean, I'm assuming during the tornado, you were like in your basement or wherever the safest part of your house was. But leading up to it, did you notice anything like weird about the weather like before it got there?
It was more windy than usual.
It was just more windy than usual, okay? And a lot of times what people will experience is like it'll be raining, and then when tornadoes actually start to form, there's actually not a lot of rain. Now that's not always the case, of course, but sometimes it can be like a rainy thunderstorm, and then all of a sudden it just kind of seems calm, right? Like almost like an eerie calm, and then tornadoes can develop from that, right? And that just comes down to how is the thunderstorm shaped, how are the forces, the air pressure and things interacting between the air masses, right, when those kind of things happen. Okay, anybody else have anything to add? Yeah.
There was a tornado that happened across my dirt road,
Mm-hmm.
and it was happening at the pond, and it wiped out a whole everyone.
Wow, that's really bad. I hate that happened. I've heard a lot of tornadoes. That's like the third one now. But our area is susceptible to it, right? During the springtime, we get a lot of thunderstorms, and of course, tornadoes typically form during thunderstorms, and so it makes sense for our area that there would be multiple instances where people have experienced tornadoes.
And the tornado alley shifting this way.
That's right. Yeah. So Tornado Alley, just due to the Gulf getting warmer, and then cold air from Canada moving down, interacting with the warm air from the Gulf, Tornado Alley is actually shifting kind of over more into our area. Yeah.
This has happened to me, but my sister lives in Texas, which is in Tornado Alley, and she had a massive tornado tear off her entire roof.
Oh gosh, yeah. So Texas, like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, like those places are notorious for having really large tornadoes, and so we're kind of starting to see that type of weather shifting over to us, shifting to the east, and now like here in Alabama, we're experiencing more in Mississippi, Louisiana, like they're getting more tornadoes on average every year. We're seeing like an increase in that kind of activity.
How does it shift?
Why does it shift?
Yeah.
That's a great question. So the Gulf is getting hotter over time, just as the climate is changing and things like that. The Gulf's getting warmer, and so of course warm air and cold air meeting are what forms thunderstorms, right, along a cold front. And so if you get more thunderstorms, that just typically leads to more tornadoes, because tornadoes form from thunderstorms, right? So you get more thunderstorms, you typically get more tornadoes, and so that's why we're seeing that shift. Okay, I think we're good.